Alright, and this is Mr. GamerFreak83 here, bringing you a video response to Longboy 1975. Now, normally I don't make video responses. Normally I can more or less sum up everything, what I have to say, within the comments section, or maybe most two. I've done it most, I think two. It took me for a comment before to sum up everything. But with this one, I figure I might want to do a video response. So, anyways, he wants to know why retro. You know, why are we playing games that are, 20 plus years old, still playing them and still loving them? Why? And I know especially a lot of you young guys out there, young guys and gals out there, who didn't really grow up with the NES and the Sega and the Atari and the Commodore and so forth. Some of you, maybe your first system you ever played was PlayStation 2. You're spoiled. Hey, to tell you, you're spoiled. Because I remember back in the day, I remember first time I laid my eyes on the 64 or the PlayStation, my mind just blew up. Because of just how far we advanced within, coming from, Sega and Super Nintendo, or Famicom, Super Famicom, It was even a big jump, even going from the original Nintendo or the Famicom to the, to the Sega and Super Nintendo. It was miles, And the main reason I retro game, I still play all the new stuff too, but I still make time for all the retro stuff. Main reason is because nostalgia. I can't get that feeling that I get from popping in a cartridge from the Sega or the Super Nintendo or the Nintendo or the N64, etc. I can't get that from, popping in a disc on my, PlayStation 3 or putting a disc in my fucking Xbox 360 or, Wii, whatever. I can't get that. I don't get that feeling. Now, yeah, those games are fun that are on that system, but you have a lot of retro games that are so much more funner. So much more fun, and probably more funner for those of us who grew up playing those games. It's just a feeling like no other. Now, yeah, you can get frustrated from time to time, from blowing in a cartridge, and doing all this magic stuff just to get your NES cartridge to work. Or, not so much really Sega or Super Nintendo, occasionally you gotta blow in those cartridges, depending on how old they are, or how long it's been since you played it. But, there's no other feeling like that in the world. Now, yeah, Nintendo is like probably the most you're gonna have to work to get a game to work, and then it may not still even work. It may have a bunch of glitches. You may see a bunch of blocky, just shit on your screen, so you gotta figure it out how to fix it. But there's no other feeling like that in the world. And I don't know really to explain that feeling. Like I said, it's more nostalgia than anything else. And the simple fact that some of these older games, they're actually longer. Will actually take you longer to beat some of these old school games than some of these newer games that are out now. That's another reason to retro game. You get more bang for your buck. Look at how many games are coming out now with, DLC at first being a good idea, and now companies just becoming greedy, so you only get you don't even get the whole game. Okay? Or you get games that are extremely short, and you spent $60 on these fucking games, when you could have bought a retro game and it'd take you a while to beat some of these games. Now, yes, I'm not saying every single retro game is super long and it will take you, days and months to beat it. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying for the simple fact that there's a lot of exploration. Good luck sitting down in one play, and beat, something like Zelda on the NES. Good fucking luck. You're going to be up for a long while. You better have something to keep yourself awake, because you're going to be on there for a while. And yeah, like I said, some games, yeah, of course, you can sit down and you can beat the game in one sitting. You know, Mario Brothers 1, Mario Brothers 3, even Super Mario World. Yeah, there's little tricks that you can do that you can beat the game in one sitting. But to get 100% on Super Mario World, that's a different story. You know, to get 100% on your game. And, you know, a lot of these older games, you know, like especially GoldenEye. GoldenEye, shit. Tell you what, multiplayer, fun, experience, oh my god, that's like no other. You know, you wouldn't have half the games that you do today if it wasn't for, you know, all these retro games. You know? So, I don't know what else to say, other than it's definitely a good reason to retro game. And you young kids today, I know I feel old for saying that, but anyway, but sit down and experience some of these older games. I mean, yeah, graphics-wise, yeah, you gotta remember, this is like 80s and 90s, you know, stuff. 80s and, you know, early 90s. You know, we didn't start really getting really graphically, you know, improved till maybe like PlayStation 2 is when graphics really got good, but there were quite a handful of games, even on the PlayStation 1, that look really awesome. Look really, really, really good, especially like later ones or, you know, midway through is when we started getting really good and they started figuring out how to use the tools that are there. So you gotta at least respect the old school. Even if you don't play it, respect the old school. You know, don't diss because it's, you know, it's not doesn't look like the, you know, the PlayStation 3 or the Xbox 360, you know. Don't hate on it just because of graphics. Yeah, look at the time it came out. And I highly suggest anybody who hasn't really experienced those old school games to go out and experience them. Find yourself one. Now, I mean, yeah, you're not going to be spending too much money on some of these old school games. Then some you will be spending quite a bit of money. But of course, there is also, you know, you got the Wii Store, which has a ton of Nintendo games, Super Nintendo, Sega, whatever. It's got a ton of games. Highly recommend that you check out some of these games. Or even download some of the emulators and get some of the games, play them. You know, get yourself a controller for your computer. You know, play these games, enjoy them. You know, because I certainly do. You know, so that's all I got to say. Hope you enjoyed it. And this Mr. Gamer Freak here, signing out.